In this series, we analyse teams, identify problem areas, and suggest solutions in the form of incoming players. We don't follow gossip, rumours, or conjecture. We're only concerned with the players' on-field performance and their suitability for the role in question. Today's team is Juventus. Welcome to Sensible Transfers. Although Massimiliano Allegri has managed Juventus for 5 out of the last 7 seasons, the 2-season hiatus that he took from the club when Maurizio Sarri and then Andrea Pirlo took charge seems to have left him unsure as the best way to utilise the squad at his disposal. Last season, Juventus lined up in a 4-4-2 formation for a good portion of the campaign. But by the time the end of the season swung around, they were much more likely to take to the field in a 4-3-3 shape. Assuming that Juventus are now recruiting for this system, there are areas that need strengthening. Now, there are a number of gaps that need filling. Paulo Dybala has left on a free, so has Federico Bernardeschi, and Alvaro Morata and Moise Kean have finished their loans and returned to their parent clubs. Federico Chiesa also won't play again until Christmas, and there are questions about his form after such a long layoff. Now, so far this summer, Juventus have added Angel Di Maria and Paul Pogba to play from the right-hand side of the attack and central midfield, respectively. And Nicolo Zaniolo might yet also arrive from Roma. The most pressing need is a replacement for Paulo Dybala. Although the departure of the Argentine is a blow for Juventus, replacing him is an opportunity to bring in a player who can offer depth across a number of positions in the forward line, who complements those who've already arrived. And Barcelona's Memphis Depay is a perfect example of this sort of sensible transfer. Not only would he make a good replacement for Dybala, slotting in behind Dusan Vlahovic, he could also fill in for the Serb where needed, which would help account for the loss of Morata and Moise Kean. Depay has experience playing as a lone striker for Barcelona, Lyon and internationally for the Netherlands. And the ability to play out wide also means that the Dutchman could help Juventus account for the loss of Chiesa through injury going into the new season. Most importantly, Depay would be able to reproduce the level of output that Dybala has been putting up for Juventus. Over the last year, Depay has matched or improved Dybala's numbers for such metrics as expected assists, key passes and expected goals. And practically, Depay is also a good option. With a 2023 contract to his name and with Barcelona needing to sell players to cover costs elsewhere, he should be fairly affordable. Another position where Juventus needs strengthening is the left-back spot. Alexandro is now 31 and Luca Pellegrini hasn't really impressed enough to take his place. Alex Grimaldo at Benfica is available and would probably be gettable for a reasonable fee, considering that he's on a 2023 contract and seems determined to leave. Grimaldo is a technical fullback with a well-rounded skill set in possession that would suit a big team. He's very good going forward, particularly dribbling in tight spaces, and he's also excellent at set pieces and crossing. However, a lack of quality defensively might be enough to put Allegri off. So our pick is Nicolas Tagliafico, who is currently at Ajax. Tagliafico was part of the Ajax side who narrowly missed out on a place in the Champions League final back in 2019. Since then, he's lost his place to Dali Blind and only played 1,000 league minutes last season as a result. At 29, but with a good injury history, Tagliafico could be an attractive option. Italian clubs value experienced players and his contract runs until 2023 too, which should make him affordable, although Barcelona are also rumoured to be interested. He's also a good technical fullback, but with an added element of defensive solidity that will make him a good fit for a more counter-attacking team. Unsurprisingly for an Ajax fullback, the Argentine is good at build-up play. His passing would benefit a team looking to play on the break. The final area that will need to be addressed by Juventus this summer is centre-back. With Giorgio Chiellini leaving for MLS, and both Daniele Rugani and Matthias de Ligt looking likely to depart this summer, Juventus will need a reliable starter at centre-back to come in over the next few months as a partner for Leonardo Bonucci. Allegri's counter-attacking style means that a centre-back playing in the system doesn't have to be particularly quick, so a well-rounded type who's also good on the ball will suffice. Juventus could even bring in an older player at the end of their contract as a stopgap if necessary. Allegri used Matthias de Ligt on both sides of his centre-back pairing, on the left when playing with Bonucci and on the right with Chiellini. With Bonucci remaining, it makes sense to bring in a player who's comfortable on the left, although flexibility might be a useful quality if the club are looking to the future. Real Madrid's Nacho is a good example of an older centre-back who could be brought in as a covering player next season. Nacho is a right-footed player who could play right-back and both centre-back roles. Importantly for Juventus, he spent most of last season playing on the left of a centre-back pairing. Nacho is a decent ball player and mobile for his age, suggesting that he still has some longevity at the top level. While he lacks height and isn't aerially dominant, he is used to playing for a reactive team who look to play on the counter. And he'd be relatively available for Juve. He's another player on a 23 contract, and his history at Real Madrid would mean that he has the requisite experience, domestically and continentally, to play for a club of Juve's size. But even so, our pick is Borussia Dortmund's Manuel Akanji. The German club have been busy in the market already, signing Nico Schlotterbeck and Niklas Süle. Akanji is probably now gettable. Quick and good on the ball, he's a well-rounded defender despite his earlier reputation as being error-prone. He's another player who has experience on both sides of a centre-back pairing, picking up a good number of minutes as a left-sided centre-back on top of his usual minutes on the right. At 26, Akanji offers a better age profile than someone like Nacho, which means that he'd be a more long-term option. His contract also ends in a year, making him obtainable for Juventus at far less than market price. With national teammate Denis Zakaria making the move to the club recently, Akanji might also make the adjustment relatively painlessly, and he is our final sensible transfer. If you'd like to see sensible transfers for your team, then you are in luck, because we've written sensible transfers articles for every team in the Premier League and published them on The Athletic. To read them, you can get a 30-day free trial for The Athletic by clicking the link in the description. Thanks for watching today's video.